You all a very quick teaching on how monitoring spirits operate so you do not fall a victim to one of these spirits. And of course, I wanted to share my knowledge with you guys, ensure that you are educated as well. Now, when it comes to monitoring spirits, let's talk about where monitoring spirits originate from. We all know that the devil or the demonic kingdom, the devil cannot be in more than one place at a time. Only God and the Holy Spirit can do that. The devil cannot be in multiple places at one time. So in the kingdom of darkness, the devil has these agents called monitoring spirits. So because the devil cannot be in more than one place at one time, what he'll do is he'll assign a specific person's life to that monitoring spirit and tell that monitoring spirit to listen and to bring back information to him to know what's going on in that person's life. Monitoring spirits are demons, and those demons are assigned to the kingdom of darkness. They're trying to get their job done, okay? The kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of heaven works in rankings. Everything's organized. And the spiritual realm is not like the physical. Everything is organized. There are rankings. There are principalities. There are certain spirits that are stronger than other spirits. Everything is organized. What he needs to do is he has to have these monitoring spirits keeping an eye on you. If you're a seer, you're a prophet, whatever big calling you have on your life, the devil will assign a monitoring spirit specifically to your life. And that's why every time you try to get into that relationship, it never works. You try to close that deal, it never works. You try to buy that house, something always ends up in the way because there's a monitoring spirit present in your life that is reporting things back to the enemy so he can send weapons to you when you are not weapons, so he can send darts and destruction and affliction to you when you are about to get to your deliverance. So that's why every day you have to pray against monitoring spirits. If you are somebody with an extreme aura and natural glamour, what you're going to have to prepare yourself for is the high level of monitoring spirits and stalkers. Now, not everybody can relate to this, but I'm sure there are some people listening where when you look back at your life, almost every person that you cut off has become obsessed with you or turned into a stalker. It's almost as though people don't want you to have a say-so in your own life. It's almost as though people won't allow you to make your own decisions. That's how you know you have an extreme aura and glamour, because people act like you're not in control of your life. They want to be in control of your life. It's very weird. So by cutting people off, rejecting people, or removing your energy, it causes people to unravel because they felt like they got a hold of you just by having your presence. That is how monitoring spirits and stalkers work. And this is all spiritual. It just means you have a high aura and extreme glamour. And I will tell you this as well. We'll talk about this in Life Monopoly. Life always also has a spiritual aspect of it. Remember, Life Monopoly, this is a class on Sunday, you guys, at 7 p.m. Life is like a pizza. It's a pie, right? We got our finances. That's one slice. We got our family and friends. That's another slice. We got our personal self-work, self-actualization, self-mastery. That's another slice. But then the other slice is our spirituality in connection with God. So if you want to win the game of life, you also have to have some type of understanding about what happens on the spiritual aspect of things. And if you are somebody with an extreme aura, high glamour, something about your presence causes people to be interested in you, even strangers want to know about you, you need to learn how to wield that, because what's going to happen is anytime you cut someone off, they're going to either turn into a monitoring spirit or a stalker. So you have to be aware of how close you allow people to get to your energy before that happens. Nobody talks about the consequences of having an extreme aura and natural made glamour. How do you know you have extreme aura and natural glamour? It's easy. You have a lot of stalkers. People cannot forget about you for some reason. I've always had that issue with people where I'm like, it's been over a decade. Why are you still reaching out to me? I don't want to reconcile. I don't want to repair the bond. Move on. But for some reason, people cannot move on from you. Even if they try to, they can't. That's when you start getting calls from random numbers where when you pick up, they hang up, or they're making fake pages to follow you on Facebook and Instagram, or they're driving up and down your street because they cannot get over you. And that is one of the downsides and consequences of having an extreme aura and glamour, is the fact that you have to be very careful with who you let in, because once you kick them out, it's going to trigger an obsession in them. It is going to trigger them to spiral into an obsession. A lot of those women that become victims of being unalived by their boyfriends, or men that become victims of being unalived by their friends or girlfriends, a lot of these people have extreme aura and glamour that the person feels like they cannot live without you. And because you want to leave them, they want to remove you. So when you have an extreme aura and a natural, powerful glamour, unfortunately, you cannot really give your essence to people, because it triggers a feeling of domination, where now they want to start dominating you. That's also a downside to extreme aura and glamour, is the way people desire to possess you. And if you don't allow them to possess you, they're going to destroy you. It's one or the other. And if you are somebody that has extreme aura and glamour, you have to protect yourself by way of your home. Do not bring people to your home. Do not share certain things with people. If you have extreme aura and glamour, a lot of women randomly start competing with you. You've been friends with them for 1 week. The competition has already started. People that you don't know obsess over you. They send minions. I had a woman that sent her minion to come into one of my private spaces. People develop these strange obsessions with you. You know, I had one person that was, it was just constant emails. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get a lawyer. I'm going to track down this IP address, and I'm going to get to the bottom of who this person is. And when I find out, I will show no mercy. Because my toleration for people that stalk and obsess over other people's lives with a desire to harm the person, that is not something that I will ever play games with or take lightly. And when you have extreme aura and glamour, you almost have to always be separating yourself from people for some reason, because of the way they want to control every part of your life. This is why some friends start to control their other friends. Is that your friend, your girlfriend? Or is that your mom? Because that's what she's treating you like, she's your mother. She's controlling everything about you. A lot of you guys, you have very possessive friends. A friend's job is not there to possess you. It's to be a friend. But if you have extreme aura and glamour, people want to possess you. People want to possess your time. Constantly, somebody was calling the cops to get them to come to my property. There was a time I was on live, and some of you guys who were on that live, you remember hearing the heavy knocks on my door with the cops coming to my home. Now, I got tired of it. I said, you know what? I'm really tired. I'm getting tired of this. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go to the police station. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to get to the bottom of this person that is bothering the hell out of me. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I go to the police station, you guys. I talked to one of the managers in there, and I said, listen, I feel like somebody has been calling the cops on me without cause. This is probably like the 8th time they've done it. I want to get to the bottom of the person that is doing this. If I have to get a lawyer, I will do that. But I need to know who this person is. They said, sure. So the guy was cool. He gave me the report, and I saw the name on the report. And this was somebody that I opened my doors to. at one point. And then they started acting out of control, and I told them, you gotta go. And then this is what happens. The problem with people with a high aura, high essence, high glamour, high aura, like that video I made on Aaliyah, is the downside to that is the way people will stalk you. I wasn't really surprised when I found out who this person was, because I've been dealing with that kind of behavior my whole life. I cut people off and then it triggers an obsession. There are some people, your aura in essence is so powerful that one, it causes people to disrespect you, right? Because they're jealous. So they try to humble you, disrespect you, cross you. And then when you let them go, now they turn into a stalker because they always knew you were amazing. They just wanted to hurt you or belittle you. They always knew you were a big deal. A lot of people purposefully cause emotional injuries because they know that you're a big deal. That's why they did that. Because if the person really didn't feel like you were a big deal, and if the person really felt like you were not important, why not just leave you alone and disappear after you guys stop talking? Why stalk you after you stop talking? They do that because they know you're amazing. That's why they did that to you, because they know how phenomenal you are. And then once you stop talking to them, they start stalking you and keeping up with your life because one, they can't forget about you. You're a phenomenal soul. And two, they start stalking because they want to make sure that your life is going down bad. This is why I always tell people, you are not up for sale. Your energy is not for sale. Access to you is limited. Not everybody gets to know you. They can only think, wonder, and assume. Proximity to you is not free. It's not, proximity to you is not up for sale. It's just not. It's just not up for sale. Access to you is not up for sale or debate. Because some people see how bright you shine. And as a result of that, they purposefully cause an emotional injury. Humbling you, dumping you, humiliating you, embarrassing you, destroying opportunities for you. And then after they do that, you think they would move on. No, now they're stalking your life. It's the obsession that they have with your light and they want to control it. So by constantly calling the cops to my property, it's because you want to disrupt me. You no longer have access to me because I rejected you, but you still want to have an imprint on my life anyways. So if I can annoy her, if I can keep calling the cops on her, if I can keep disrupting her, I can stay in her energetic field. That's why you have to banish certain people. They want to live rent-free in your energetic field. That's why you have to banish people. When you pray, I banish that person's connection from me. I disconnect myself from that person's energy. Because some people want to live in your energetic field in whatever way possible by provoking you, creating fake pages, calling cops on you. They just want to feel like they have some type of relevancy in your life because that is how obsessed they are with you. They need to feel relevant in your life in some way, even if they're not presently there. That's why I had that family member try to follow me that I don't mess with. They want to be relevant in my thoughts. Many people want to have a room or a seat in your head. They mean nothing to you, but they want to mean something to you. And after the emotional injury, they thought you were going to be held up on them, but you don't give a damn about them because you're too busy progressing. You're too busy walking into purpose. You're too busy walking into God's plan. They're irrelevant, right? A lot of people, they do an emotional injury and they humiliate you because they want to leave a mark on you. But when they realize that you're still progressing and you don't give a rat's ass about them and they have no relevancy in your life, they try to be relevant by finding ways to annoy you so they can live rent-free in your energetic bubble. That's really what it is. They're trying. That's why they call you, and when you pick up the phone, they hang up. People just want to know that they can be a part of you, even if they're not actually a part of you. It's very sadistic. And this is why you have to have a lot of spiritual education. We'll talk about this on Children of the Light, spiritual education. So you can understand when someone wants to live in your essence, when somebody is trying to have a spot in your auric field, when they're trying to penetrate it indirectly. So by calling cops and disrupting me, and every time I get up and go to the door and I'm annoyed and interrupted, they can feed off me in that way. That is how powerful you guys' energy is, that even when you cut people off, they are thirsty for some type of access to your essence one way or another. Just the thought of them triggering any type of emotion out of you gives them a will to live, because that's how miserable they are. Do not forget to sign up for Life Monopoly. Okay, we have 6 months left until 2026, so this is definitely not the time to play any games. Life Monopoly is probably one of the favorite courses I've created, because in this course, we are going to discuss every single part of your life that needs your focus. Life is like a pie. There's the financial aspect, there's your romantic relationships, there's your friendships, there's your spirituality, there's your self-introspection. And the problem is, since we were in school and college, we were never taught the pie method when it comes to life and how we need to focus on each and every part of our life evenly. We got 6 months left, so this is not the time to waste. Get your life together with the Life Monopoly Masterclass. Finance Boss. Are you feeling like you cannot keep up with your finances? Your savings account is really dry. It's looking really dry. You don't know where your money is going, and you simply can't keep up. First of all, we're going to talk about the spirit of riches in the Finance Boss Masterclass. Yes, there is a lot of spiritual reasoning behind how money works. There's the physical aspect and there's a spiritual aspect. And in this class, we are going to discuss both to make sure that we get you financially where you need to be with the mentality that is necessary to keep your finances in order.